I need a reason why I'm plugging in my computer because if it's not like utilizing as much battery as it does, then I gotta unplug it. Otherwise, it's gonna kill my battery life. Yeah, okay. If you're on a laptop, like not a desktop. Okay, I gotta close this. I can't look at the. Okay, if you are on a laptop or some sort of rechargeable device and it's not using a lot of the battery power and you're plugging it in, you're gonna kill the battery life. Okay? If so you have to unplug it if you're like not really utilizing it as much. If you want to like I don't know, it's annoying charging it, right? Like recharge really quick. It wouldn't be great if you just let it plugged in. You don't have to buy a desktop for that. That's what they're built for. But it's a pain in the ass to carry on the entire fucking desktop back and forth until the end of time. So people like to use laptops for that, but again, battery is not sustainable if you do that kind of stuff. Always do what I do is unplug it and then just like when it gets to be like leave it plugged in and then just plug it back in, but you're gonna use up a lot of electricity, which means that your utility bills are gonna be higher unless you're at a public area, but then you're gonna have to like look out for your stuff. Plug it in because already I'm like downloading and uploading and using the camera, so it should be enough. But what is health and fitness and bulking and cutting and if you can't pay people to explain to you, please do so. You should hire a personal trainer or fitness person, and then they can be like, hey, you should be doing this instead of that. And stuff. But okay, what is the whole point of muscle building and keeping fit? You need enough energy to maintain homeostasis, which is making sure your body is functioning at a optimal level. I have a slight fever because I think I might be getting a cold, but I don't really want to get a cold. Yeah. But okay, homeostasis is when like your body is in balance, so there's enough water and energy on your fats or whatever to maintain optimal bodily function, so that you can like digest and keep your blood flowing. Okay, what do you need to keep in mind when you first hit the gym and you're on your path to good physique and top health, so you don't have to see a doctor every year about why your body's like you feel sick all the time. Okay, the goal is to make sure that it is maintainable. So like you gotta really look at how you're living your life or your lifestyle, and then kind of form it for that. Okay, don't form it the other way around where you're trying to force your lifestyle or like live a lifestyle to fit your health and fitness goals. No, it's the other way around. Whatever your life you're living right now should be an indicator of how you should be working out and the foods that should be eating. I'm gonna talk about the problem stuff where you gotta see a doctor first. Chronic obesity or overweightness in general. You overweight person need to understand when you lose all that weight way too quickly, your body's gonna be overloaded, overtaxed. So that means that you are at risk for ending up in a hospital. Okay, don't think that's a bad sign either. Like you're on your way to health, but if you're not losing at a recommended level, which might be slightly different for some people, but like maximum you should be losing weight at is 2 kilograms um a week. So some person had tried to simplify it by saying you need to eat 500 calories in deficit a day in order for you to be able to lose that. So that's kind of hard to do, especially if you are only eating enough to maintain your current body, right? So that means that you ate enough to maintain your body for the day, and then you're exercising on top of that. It's gonna make you feel tired and sluggish, right? And then you're gonna want to eat more, which is to fill the depleting calorie amount in your body. So your body's like, oh, we use this much, we need to refill that. Except your body's not a car, okay? So you don't need to. You need to be able to kind of stave off the hunger through either drinking fluids or chewing a piece of gum. Do something, distract yourself. I mean, you will feel hungry, your body might even, your hungry thing might be like making noises because there's nothing going through it. And it's currently all empty, so it's like still trying to digest stuff because it's used to digesting at that time all the time, but now there's nothing there, so it's still kind of digesting, but it's like so empty that it's making that sound. Don't think that's an indication of hunger exactly. What I stay away from is actually trying to fill it with snacks. Any processed foods, just don't grab for those. Rather, it's better to grab for like, I don't know, some homemade food, like make an omelet or something, or even like you can even try to like make yourself a smoothie. Get your protein shake in then. Get like low calorie beverages, that kind of stuff, or even just drink water. But don't drink too much water, honestly. It can lead to water poisoning where your body has too much fluids in the body, so it can lead to higher blood pressure, and also because there's too much water going through your body and your kidneys are overworking to filter all that out, you're gonna like feel kind of bloated. So yeah, that's the thing. Thing is, your body is, if you're changing your diet, this is where the calories important. If you're living off of very high calorie foods and you're overweight and you're not like, you don't know how to go about starting, just start at first with maybe lessening the amount that you're eating. That should be enough. You have to figure out how much calories you need a day. The standard is usually like 1500 for men and 1200 for women. So that's all you really need. You need 1500 calories if you're a guy, and 1200 calories if you're a woman, girl. Right, man, women, they actually utilize different amounts of calories. So when you eat already your daily allocated intake that you need to just like stay awake and go to sleep, 1200 for women and 1500 for men, and maybe take a quick walk around the neighborhood or whatever. That's fine. If you're overweight, that's the amount that the doctor's gonna put you on. He or she will tell you cannot eat more than 1200 a day, otherwise you are gonna start building more fat on your body, and we're trying to reduce that. So that's enough to maintain your body. You don't have to change your exercise habits just yet. Think of it as like, when are you gonna start exercising? Because if you add the exercise on top of that, because if you change your diet, your stomach already contains these bacteria and all that kind of stuff that helps digest your food and gives the nutrients to different parts of your body via your plasma. But since that's not happening, since you just change your diet, you're gonna have to be able to grow the bacteria required to like utilize those nutrients efficiently. It takes some time. Plus, if you're exercising on top of that, that means that you are actually, like taxing the other areas of your body. Your digestive system is being overworked, as well as your respiratory system and your central nervous system, because you're learning new movements. and your muscular skeletal system, because those are the ones that are being worked to utilize most of the energy, and your brain, the central nervous system, because now you have to actively be aware of what you're working out and you're learning a new skill. So all that kind of stuff is being overworked, and it's a problem if you're overweight. Okay, if that happens because of it, it's gonna be a shock to your body, right? You might actually end up in the hospital because there might be internal problems from overworking it so much at once, and it's kind of like your body wasn't gradually getting into that, right? It does matter because when you're trying to gain muscle and have that like nice body and like all the abs, and you don't want your boobs to start sagging or whatever, the important thing is to make sure that you know what weight you want to start your workout at. Not the time, the weight. Okay, so let's say you are like, I don't know, it's different based on ethnic backgrounds, your height and your activity level, right? And some people are healthy, but they're actually considered overweight for BMI when they're actually very healthy, because muscle does weigh differently than fat, but it's in proportion to each other. So again, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Another problem is if you're underweight. So you actually cannot exercise if you're underweight, and you're gonna have to consume 500 extra calories a day. That's a lot. So your body's kind of getting overworked, and now you have to start growing more bacteria because there's more bacteria necessary to break down those foods. That's why it feels uncomfortable for people who have eating disorders to eat at regular intervals. And they might even feel like nauseated because there's so much food being put in their body and they're not used to it. So that's another thing. So obesity, not as big of a problem as eating disorders. Eating disorders are the ones, people who are chronic underweight, like bulimia and anorexia. Okay, if you're doing that to stay in shape, you're not actually in shape. Sorry. You're not in shape. Okay, you can't puke out your meals to look like that. It's unhealthy. Okay, and you're gonna end up at the hospital, like, because you're gonna pass out, or you're gonna like get your people around you to be extremely concerned about your health. Okay, they're gonna be like, you look like you're gonna die in front of my eyes. I can't take this anymore. I gotta call somebody. So they do that. So they're like, they don't want you to die like in front of them. They didn't even know you. They're like, what is this? What are you doing? But yeah, what is important with underweights is that you need to be able to consume that at a regular interval, so every single day until you hit the weight goal. Okay, when you do that, when you hit your weight goal, that's when you can lessen the amount of calories you can eat. Like, think of it as going to work. You just have to put up with it for 8 hours. It's just 8 hours. Oh my god. And then boom, you get your paycheck, right? And then you save up enough money, you don't have to work that job anymore. You're like, yeah. But that's what that is. Okay? Don't think of that as relationships. If somebody's doing that to you, that means they're trying to screw you over, or they don't understand what relationships are, aka very low social skills to no social skills whatsoever. They literally had the same friends for the past 10 years, never met anyone new outside of their family members, friends. They don't have a lot of friends, like 3 to 5 friends, and that's all I need. That's low social skills, okay? A lot of people are afraid to admit it, but you need to start utilizing your brain to like meet things and people, and make more friends. You need more than 5 friends, okay? That's like living off of like $5 a day. Like, how the hell are you gonna do that? You can't live from $5 a day. Are you insane? I think I need some help. But duh. No. Oh god. I don't want to get up. I'm tired. Okay, so what is important when before you get into that, realize it's gonna cost you a lot of money, because food is energy, and that's where your money's going, to energy. You can buy things to mimic that. People like to take pre-workouts and coffee before they go work out, so that blah 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 blah. I don't fucking know. I don't do that. I used to take protein powders, but I stopped taking it after I stopped going to the gym. You can still work out. You don't need a gym membership to work out. Like, you can purchase those things for yourself at home. All you really need is an ability to go outside and not bother anyone. So, like, just don't harass people or try to talk to everyone on your workout. Focus on your workout. Go outside, go to your nearby playground, and then like use that to work out your pull-ups and push-ups and like, if you ever like want to start learning a skill or something, the stretches, and you can like watch videos online and follow that. Or that's you don't need like you can buy dumbbells and barbells at home and do like deadlifts and all that kind of stuff. Like you don't need that. You don't need to pay somebody like $50 a month so they can use your stuff. I mean, it's easier because now you don't have to worry about cleaning on your own machines. Like people clean it there for you. You don't have to worry about having a separate room for your stuff. You don't have to worry about setting it up. You don't have to it saves a lot of time. There's also other workers there who can spot you. So if anything goes wrong during the workout, they can like contact somebody to help you out. That's what they're there for. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. Honestly, I tried this gym called Go Life Fitness, and they actually did hire trainers to work there so that they can help the people who go to the gym. The guy tried to get me to pay him to do his job more. So he's like, you need to pay me, like, hire me as your personal trainer, and then I can do that for you. And I'm like, but you already work here, you're on shift, like, is that your job? And he's like, no, I'm only here to get clients. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Dude, you work here. I mean, your job is to make sure that people who already have memberships here can work out here safely. And he's like, no, that's not my job. And I'm like, you're a crazy person. Speaking of which, maybe I should get a gym membership. That way I can use the showers there. It's probably a better idea than what I'm doing right now. I don't think I could, because I have a dog. And I'm like, what am I going to do with my dog? Like, where am I going to put my dog? That's something weird. Yeah, so what happened is, yeah, that guy wouldn't do his job, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna cancel my membership, because, like, literally you guys are saying this stuff is okay because I'm not white. Fuck off. And I realized they actually weren't making any money, and they lost a lot of their clients after, and also, it's the same guy who owns Canadian Tire, a retailer here, who can't, for the life of him, I know it's a guy and I know he's retarded, but he can't, for the life of him, find a way to get, like, people to start supporting him because he keeps on screwing people over. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's not screwing people over, I think he's screwing people over in his personal life because he has more money than them, so he thought he was better than them. Because he has more money, that's narcissistic. That's narcissistic personality disorder. Excuse me. But honestly, I quit. I didn't even want to do that. I'm like, fuck off. Fuck that. Shit. Fuck it. I don't fucking want to. You can't fucking make me pay you to have your workers tell me that I need to hire them as personal trainers. Are you insane? Why would I do that? What, are you trying to insult me or something? Why am I paying you money so your workers will insult me? That's fucked up. Like, why would I do that to myself? Like, that's fucking retarded. But anyway, yeah, that's why I stopped using that gym. It was like, that gym was everywhere, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going there. Or any of its subsidiaries, because it's run by the same person. I tried. I thought it was like a different thing. I was like, hopefully it's not like that. Turns out it was like that, and I was like, yeah, I can't. Like, I literally can't. Yeah. Anyway, I think I just realized something. That's so stupid. It's fucking retarded. Somebody got left in prison, and I was like, yeah. Uh. Anyway, the point is, okay, so if you want to work out, okay, let's say you are kind of concerned and you've never actually worked out before and like that wasn't a really big part of your life. Okay, what you have to do is assess, right? Like if you're overweight, then you have to assess what weight you want to start your workout. Right? So what is it? Like I recommend like just focusing on losing weight just through eating. So you can't do that. Don't develop an eating disorder. Like if you're consuming excessive amounts and you actually don't have any muscle behind that, that's gonna be hard for your body to maintain. Like if you are building muscle, it takes a lot more energy and also it puts a lot more weight on your body to like be able to, you know, put your body at a normal whatever. Don't do steroids, please. I mean, everybody learns their mistake from doing steroids. Everyone. Every single person. And it's always after, hopefully one trip to the hospital. Or maybe, like, getting arrested for having illicit drugs. So, steroids. No. No steroids. What happens is you're gonna actually end up breaking a bone. Because you're on steroids. Okay, you're not actually building the muscles, but you're just looking at that. It looks like you have muscle, but you have no muscle. And when that happens and you're actually doing exercises that require muscular things, you're gonna break something because you need those muscles to support your bone structure and to be able to lift things and support the weight of gravity and the pressure that you're putting yourself on to be able to lift those things. If you can't do that, then like your bones are very, very like the structure is there's nothing to support it, it's gonna break. Right? I mean, it's hard to like you're gonna be out for like 6 months and down goes all of your past work to get to that point because you're an amateur, obviously. So yeah, you just lost all that, I don't know, past year's worth of work because you decided to go on steroids. Think about that for a second. Why would you do that? Why are you just like, honestly, I hate, and so does any person who actually takes that stuff seriously, which is literally everyone else but the steroid user. They'll hate you for it. Like, you're literally making fun of them and saying that, like, at least as long as you look like it, it's the same thing. It's not, okay? Don't. I mean, even if you do steroids for a little bit just to make it look like that, and then you actually do all that, like, light workouts or whatever, it's not gonna work. I'm sorry. It's just, you can't shortcut your body. There's no shortcuts to getting a nice physique. There's literally no shortcuts to it. It's literally blood, sweat, and tears. It's you're just crying every day because it hurts, because your workouts hurt. And then, your body's sore, you don't even want to go out anymore because you're so tired from working out. Because you're using up all your energy in your workouts to build all that muscle, and you're like, oh, I'm so tired, I want to cry, and I'm so tired, I feel lazy, blah, 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 blah. You just want to sleep, eat, work out all day, you're like a fucking snail. Yeah, that's basically it. Anyway, look, if you're underweight, hit your goal weight, okay? Like, this is where the BMI comes in handy. So you enter into the BMI calculator and see what weight you should be at to be healthy. or not underweight anymore, okay? Just at the BMI calculator. When you hit that weight goal, then that's when you can start working out. Okay, and while you're doing the eating and getting your eating in order, and yeah, it's gonna tire you out because you're still working out your digestive tract. You need to you kind of upstarting your digestive tract. You're trying to get it like to be used to the food that you're gonna feed it, right? Just look at that, and then when that's good, like when everything in your BMI is hitting where it's supposed to be hit and stuff, when that's done, that's when you can start working out. But during that process, you can start thinking about what kind of workouts you want to do, right? Some people, a lot of women, they like to do yoga and Pilates. Those are great workouts, honestly. Especially if you're working in an office, you can go to a class, you can pay somebody to teach you. Like, you can even take monthly passes. A lot of yoga places have that, where you can even buy membership per year, or you can buy monthly passes where there's no time limit, but every time you drop in for their classes, they stamp your card or they pull punch it so that you can attend that class, and you pay in advance. So you're like, hey, I'm gonna pay for a month. Look, I'm gonna pay for 60 classes, and you can take those 60 classes whenever. Like, there's no, like, you don't have to show up every week. Like, you can just start showing up and take those classes, and that's really all you really need to do. You can go and take a kickboxing class or self-defense class, right? You can take, that's a really great way to lose calories. It's basically all cardio. If you want to like start getting your body used to like losing weight really quickly, you can even start going running. But again, I wouldn't recommend it if you were underweight or overweight, because you don't have the skeletal structure for it. You don't have the muscles or the skeleton density for your runs. Not even a jog, not even an extended long walk. That actually requires a lot of energy and muscles. It doesn't seem like it because it's so free, easy, anyone can do it. But if you've actually had chronic health problems such as underweight problems or overweight problems, don't do that. Don't take up running. That's actually for more advanced people, or people who are actually used to exercising and they just want to start getting back into shape. Yeah, that's great for that. But if you've never done that before, then please don't do that. That's not what that's for. Okay? So, when you start thinking about that, there's Pilates, there's yoga. A lot of women like to take those. It's great for men too. You can take self-defense classes. You can hire a personal trainer to help you out with your workouts, either at home or somewhere else. You can go to your local gym and take the classes at your local gym, like or you can even start learning new sports. Like, you can hire somebody to teach you sports. I mean, it might take you longer than some people to get the hang of it, but otherwise, that's still you learning a new skill, like getting active. So you can do any of that stuff. Think about what kind of lifestyle you're leading, right? So if you work on an office, you work a 9 to 5 job, and it's a salary wage, and you only have time between 9 to 5 and on weekends, I would really suggest using a gym or using a workout that helps you to like fit into that. So like, you can do 9 to 5 and then drop by a class in the evening about like some gyms actually do really late classes from like 10 to 11 p.m. So like, you can always use those like right before your bed. You take a shower and then you relax, you sleep, and then you wake up and you go to work, and then that's kind of like what you do for the week. Your weekend's free, or you can do that during your weekends, right? Like have like morning workout sessions during the weekends, and then that's actually enough for you to get used to that kind of stuff. So when you hit your weight goal, okay, don't do this at home alone. Okay, you can use like water bottles or like really heavy stuff in your, even chairs or something, or like do like squats and sit-ups at home. Those are fine, except unless you've been overweight or underweight. Okay, that's actually gonna end up with you in the hospital or giving you serious like posture problems when you get older. You might actually throw your hip out when you're like 60 or 70 because you did that lose weight. Like, that kind of stuff creeps up on you. So like, be careful with that. Like, just don't exercise. I know you're like antsing, right? You got ants in your pants, you're itching to like get out there. Okay, just wait a little bit, wait until you hit your weight goal, right? If you're calculating the BMI, you're overweight or you're obese, you might actually have to see a dietitian or go to your doctor and get it diagnosed so that they can assess your blood levels as you go along. If you can't afford a doctor or you don't live in a country where free healthcare is provided for that kind of stuff, you're gonna have to do a lot of the work on your own, but realize that you can calculate the amount of calories that you're eating on your own, right? Like I said, 1,500 for men, 1,200 for women. So if you're a woman and you're overweight, make sure you're only eating 1,200 calories a day. There's an app called MyFitnessPal. It's a free app. You can list down what you're eating all day, and you can add it into your MyFitnessPal. It keeps track of it for you. And over time, you kind of see the trends of your eating patterns and your eating behavior, right? And that will help you to recognize what it is that's causing you to eat and why you're eating that kind of stuff, or what you can substitute for it. Right? Okay, so you like to eat, I don't know, like a pint of ice cream after work because whatever. Maybe substitute that because that pint might have been like 380 to 400 calories. Maybe you can get that for low calorie or no sugar or like frozen yogurt or something instead, or like almond milk ice cream. It might be more costly, but at the very end, it's stopping you from developing a lot more health problems, and it does matter. A lot of people do look at that, including employers. Okay, you're liable for their, like, if an employer hires you, they need to look after that stuff so you can work there. If you're developing problems from working there and they knew about your health condition prior to that, they are actually legally liable for that. So what is important with all of that? I'm going to tell you this. You need to know if your BMI is fine, like you're not overweight or underweight, but you got a lot of fat, or you haven't really exercised and it's starting to affect your cognition. Please start working out. Okay, like I said, all those things, 9 to 5, those drop-in classes, great for that. If you can't afford it, you can always sign up for classes at your local community center. They also offer classes too. If you don't have that, you can always start walking and start running and jogging. And do jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, squats. You don't even need weights for those. You can just use your body weight. Start getting into calisthenics or whatever when you just use your body weight to work out. It's actually a really growing trend in the fitness industry where people just use playgrounds. So you go on the monkey bars and you do the pull-ups. You can just kind of use the steps from the swings, or the not swings, sorry. You can use the steps from the slides to do the step exercises. That kind of stuff. Oh, that's what that was. That's so weird. Regardless, yeah, I just realized somebody was trying to make it look like they couldn't do anything while I was there because I would give them shit for doing something good, which is what they were doing to me, and they were doing all that work to make it look like it's like being on steroids. Make it look like it wasn't actually them that was doing that, it was me doing that. I'm like, who the hell would fall for that bullshit? Other people who are like that. That's it. A bunch of idiots. So I'm like, at least I found all the idiots. But yeah, that's all. Just all you really need to get into working out, or if you work 9 to 5 and you got some time after work, why don't you just go for a quick run, 15-minute run, just up and down the street. It should be fine. Or you can even start skipping rope. Skip ropes, runs, those are great. Okay. Once you hit your BMI, okay, underweight and overweight people, you need to start getting into it slowly because you don't actually have the skeletal structure to support most of the workouts, okay? You just lost enough weight so you can start getting into it. What's a great way for that? Not swimming. Those utilizes a lot of your tendons, okay? Your stretching muscles, and there's muscles associated with those gaps in your skeletal structure, right? You didn't build those yet. So yeah, you're gonna have a hard time going to swimmings and all that kind of stuff if you want to lose weight, right? So what is a great way to get into that kind of stuff? My recommendation: hire a personal trainer. for that because you're so overweight or you were so underweight and you actually haven't built any muscular skeletal structure, and they will be able to utilize based on your body type or like how your body is, what workouts would be effective for your posture and everything like that. That's not a chiropractor, that's a personal trainer. Great things to get into. Pilates is great for that. You're not actually utilizing too heavily your muscle, and you can build your muscles through Pilates. Yoga, great for that too, except you're not building any muscle. You're just gonna be able to use your tendons and stretching your ligaments and stuff like that. So don't expect to build muscles from yoga, but you can actually build a more stable skeletal structure through it, and you can stretch better, and it gives you better form and like better reach through yoga. But again, yogic practices have like a lot of dietary restrictions associated with it, which would be great for people who have anorexia or bulimia. If you had an eating disorder and you get into yoga, great. They even have restrictive dietary practices for that too, which might even be to your preference. You know, like you like putting restrictions on things that you eat, so that way at least they know what to tell you how to eat that kind of stuff to help you with your yoga practice. Right? So that's really great for that. Pilates, you don't really need to do that. You can take one of those cycle classes, Soul Cycles or whatever. I heard that was really trendy once. Like you can just go and like it's just a bunch of bicycles and stationary thing. You just go on the bikes and there's like a trainer in front of you and they tell you how to like ride a bike or whatever. Yeah, those are great. I don't like riding bikes. I don't actually build muscles from riding bikes. It's cardio. Riding bikes is completely cardio. You're burning more energy through riding a bike than if you were to skateboard. Right? It's just weird. Like skateboarding, like the amount distance traveled versus energy input for that activity is better on a skateboard than on a bicycle. But a lot of people, they like to go on bicycles because you lose more weight when you ride a bike, but you're not building any muscle, right? So maybe that'll be great for people who used to be overweight and you're kind of scared that you might get back into your eating habits. Start riding a bike everywhere. Ride a bike to work, ride a bike to your friend's house, ride a bike to the bar, whatever. There's no law against drinking and riding a bicycle, even though I wouldn't recommend it. You might actually fall down repeatedly and somebody might steal your bike on the way because you're drunk. And they might think you stole the bike or something. I don't know, I personally wouldn't recommend that, but anyway, you get my point. Like, just ride a bike everywhere, and even if you have like a cheat day where you're like, fuck, I ate an extra Danish today, you can just burn that off through riding a bike, or your body will be able to burn that off on its own through the fact that you ride bikes everywhere. So that's always a bonus. When you use the machines, they're actually designed so that you're not actually gonna like pull a muscle or anything. That's why it's important to stretch after. When you actually do like go to the gym and use those like gym machines, those are really expensive equipment, by the way. They use that, they design it so like, you know, you're only utilizing the movement. They're specifically preventing you from going further than you need to, unless you are on free weights, which is just on a bench and then you have like a barbell and then you're just like doing bench presses or like deadlifts and stuff like that. That's free weight. You're gonna have to know how to do the form and the movement so you don't throw your back out or you don't actually end up like pulling a muscle just by lifting that. Right? But yeah, I've been pulling my muscle like crazy like lately. I don't even fucking know why. Probably because I haven't been eating properly. But I don't have money to fucking. But yeah, that's what that is for. Yeah, that's why I'm like, hit the gym if you were overweight or underweight. Honestly, you still need to build that muscle even if you're at a fine weight or like acceptable weight. And it's because you are either gonna, like, once you start building that muscle, your body starts burning more calories to maintain it. Because now you have all that muscle. No, you don't actually lose all your muscle and it doesn't turn into fat and all that kind of bullshit, whatever people say. And no, it's just, your fat gets converted into energy, which is used to feed your muscle or maintain your muscle. That's what happens with the extra fat on your body. I don't know why people are saying all that kind of stuff. It's like people wanted them to have eating disorders or something. Don't believe it, okay? body, okay, needs to be able to maintain a certain amount of caloric balance to maintain all that muscle. If you don't do that, then it's gonna start getting into starvation mode, which means it's restricting energy flow to other areas of your body that you need it to go to. It's gonna cause problems in your digestion, it's gonna cause problems in your thinking, it might cause problems in the ability of like your energy level, all that kind of stuff. People like to combat it with coffee. It does help a little bit. Caffeine does help with that kind of stuff a little bit, especially if you're at kind of like where I am, where I don't have that much food. If I drink some coffee, at least at the end of the day, I don't feel like absolute crap for not having like eaten enough for that day, you know? So that really helps with that. But again, I wouldn't really recommend you doing that if you can afford food. That's it. That's all you really need to. Since you're already on your way to hitting your BMI, once you hit that BMI, you can start working out, and I really recommend those classes or going to the gym just to start out. You don't have to keep going there, you don't have to keep using their services, and yeah, you can definitely hire a personal trainer for that. They'll actually show you, if you hire a personal trainer, they can tell you which areas to go to in your neighborhood, so you can use like, they'll show you the exercises, like Pilates exercises and like all that kind of stuff, so that you can go walk up and down those like steps in the slides and stuff, so you can like, you know what kind of exercises to do, so you can do it on your own time. So that's what that's for. So you can hire them for that period of time to teach you and show you how to do that. And then afterwards you can start doing on your own. Unless you're uncomfortable with that doing on your own, being out there on your own, then yeah, they're definitely handy to have around. Especially since they're spotting you or watching your form. So that if you ever make a mistake in your form, they can correct you as you go along. Especially since you're a beginner and you've never really worked out before. That's really great for that. Other than that, most people actually do exercise and get out and are pretty active, so they don't really need to do that kind of stuff. They can just really hit the gym and start using the machines and like start running and like going for jogs and stuff like that. But if you are underweight or overweight, you can't really do that just because you're gonna actually end up breaking a bone or something because you're not stable enough and you didn't have those muscles, man. Your muscular stuff. That stuff. What else is important? Your diet is incredibly important. It will affect your mood. Again, not everyone can afford really great food, and not everyone has time to grow their own food, and not everybody owns the property to do so, right? So what you can do about your diet is there's this thing called bulking. So this is specifically for when you're trying to build muscle, which is for everyone. Okay, bulking is when you're consuming a lot of those calories. So now when you build those muscles, you don't need to consume excess calories. You already have calories, the fat on your body, to get converted into maintaining those muscles. That's what that is. Okay, so when you get all that fat on your body will turn into muscle. So when people are bulking, they tend to be more heavier set. There's like more like fat on their body, and that's when people usually like don't exercise as much, right? So it's kind of like when you're starting to get into it and you're starting to like consume calories in order for you to be able to work out, right? Because some people, they like to do the bulking, so they eat all the calories and then they start working out like crazy, and then through that entire cycle, when it's over, eating all that and then you finish working out, like that period of time, they will build all that muscle in their body necessary to do different workouts, right? But initially they don't have enough muscle, so you start building your muscles, and that's when they consume all that calories and they have all that fat on their body and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what that is. There's different ways to go about consuming all the calories that you need. There is the clean bulk and the dirty bulk. The clean bulk is when you are actively consuming calories that you made yourself, and they're typically whole foods. So you go to a grocery store and you buy your own ingredients and then you cook it at home, right? And then you like freeze all your meals and then you eat it during the week. That's called clean bulking. It costs a lot of money. Okay, you have no idea how high your grocery bill is gonna be every week just to maintain it. So typically people who clean bulk, it actually ends up costing about $200 to $300 more than what they usually spend on groceries per week. And that's not as percentile, that's the actual amount that you're gonna actually spend on your groceries more per week for clean bulking. Whereas dirty bulking is when you're eating like fast food, fries, poutine, burgers, chips, Coca-Colas, instant noodles, pizza, pasta, a buttload of carbs that are easy, quick, available. And especially I heard army people, soldiers, they love dirty bulking because they don't actually have to worry about cooking that food. They can get that dirty bulk food anywhere because there's 24-hour grocery stores and convenience stores everywhere that they can get that food at. So that's the dirty bulk. It's a lot cheaper than doing it the clean way, but the only downside to dirty bulking is that you're gonna be really tired, sluggish, and possibly irritable. So you're not gonna have a lot of energy outside of just eating and working out. And with dirty bulking, you can eat and work out at the same time. With clean bulking, you really can't. Like, you need some time for you to be able to build that fat, and it's gonna take a while from that food. And then that's when you can start working out. With dirty bulk, you can start working it out right away, immediately. So that's like the pros and cons. Except with clean bulk, you'll never have that like kind of sluggish, like I don't feel so good kind of stuff. But again, it costs so much more money. Whereas with dirty bulking, you're gonna feel sluggish. You're not gonna want to go outside. You feel kind of like ugh. But at the very end of the day, at least you can start working out immediately. So that's the trade-off. Cutting is when you stop eating as much, right? So, I have enough fat on my body to be able to do the exercises now, and I'm gonna start building my muscles then. And in the case that I'm doing all the heavy weight exercises, I have enough extra fat on my body to maintain those muscles, so that it's not gonna start accumulating to a point where now my body's gonna just start accumulating all the fat everywhere every time I eat, and it's gonna take a while for it to start converting it into energy. Right? Your body needs time to adjust to get into that kind of stuff. It's not automatic. There's no quick and dirty way or shortcuts or cheats to it. That's what's called a cheat day, when you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to eat this because it's gonna affect my workout, but it's not gonna make a huge difference, only because I already have the muscles and that needs extra energy to maintain, or I'm already starting my workout and my body's actually utilizing more calories than it used to, so it should be fine. That kind of stuff, that's the thing. It's called like learning how to work out or whatever. I don't know why people won't pay people money for this. Okay, people make careers and jobs out of it. Okay, it's not that costly, honestly. Personal trainers, it costs like $20 to $30 an hour. That's it. You do a couple of hour sessions a week, right, for 6 months. That's enough for you to get into what workouts are supposed to be, and for them to teach you the wrong and the right way to work out, so you don't actually end up hurting yourself. So that's kind of why that is. If you picked a really shitty personal trainer, they might even like get at you or like target you personally because you stopped using them as a personal trainer. They lost a client and they're not making as much money anymore. That means they only care about the money that they're making from their job, not that they don't care about their job. But again, it kind of correlates with how much they're charging. Not always. There's good personal trainers who are very cost effective, except they're not going to be available. So if you can't wait, like let's say you're just starting your workout and your diet, like you're already underweight and overweight, and you're looking for a personal trainer, if they have a time slot for you within the year, that's great. Book that time because you're gonna need it then. But if you're already at your BMI and you want to start working out and you don't know how to get that stuff started, that book time that you're gonna wait for a year is gonna affect you negatively. So you're gonna have to find a personal trainer within budget that is available to you at that time. Not a lot of people are gonna be available to you at that time if they're really good. Those guys get booked really quickly. And also, unfortunately, they can only take on so much clients at a time. Okay, they have like, I don't know, it's their job, but they're not gonna stop sleeping and stop maintaining their own body to make money for somebody else, right? I mean, they're gonna be out of a job if they did that, so that's why they don't do that kind of stuff. So this is why you kind of have to wait until a client of them stops using their services, or they have enough time spot for you to squeeze you in. That's it. Otherwise, you're gonna have to end up with a shitty trainer who might give you problems later, like just not related to the work. Possible lawsuit, not always. Most likely it won't happen. But that's what you're gonna have to pick for that. Or you can end up taking class. So you can just, like, those drop-in classes, it's always helpful no matter what skill set you're at, no matter what weight you're at, no matter what your fitness goal is. It's such a nice refresher. And plus, like, it's so relaxing just to have a class and follow along and do those exercises. Like, and plus you get to meet new people there. It's such a great thing. I honestly would recommend you to start in getting into those and see what class, like how it's structured and what it's like to attend one of those fitness classes. You can try different ones to see what really suits you, which is fine. But if you find a one that you really like going there and you really like the way they're instructing you, then stay going there. Like, it's always something, especially since you're like, there's so many changes you're applying to your body and your life. Having that kind of stability is gonna prevent you from having some sort of emotional outburst, or at least making you feel a little insecure, right? Because at least that's a constant thing, that like one place that you go to every week, right, without fail, that's gonna be like your rock. Okay, that's gonna be your like your security blanket. So that's what you should be looking for if you want to, you know, start getting yourself out there. Like, start actually, like, yeah. And also, this kind of ties into your social skills, because people who are really bad at maintaining their hygiene and their diet is also the types of people who are really bad with talking to other people. They've experienced a lot of rejection, which is not uncommon for anybody. A lot of people experience rejection. Everyone experiences rejection at one point in their life. That's undeniable. But I guess it affected them to a point where they just didn't want to go outside anymore, or they just stopped trying to meet new people. If you're trying to build your social skills, right, make sure that don't be shy. Shyness is actually a fault. Okay, you can't just tell people that you're being rude because you were being shy. Shyness is not okay. If you want to get out there and introduce yourself, you can go to your local bar. If you don't like to drink, I really wouldn't recommend doing so unless you're really known for their tapas, you know, those appetizer dishes. Yeah, so you can go there, order some food, and try to see if anyone's around, if you want to talk to people. At the very least, you see what kind of people are there in the neighborhood and what kind of business they're running. So that's already, like, kind of getting your foot in the door kind of thing. Otherwise, you can always start going to clubs. I mean, I don't know if I would go to a club if I didn't know anybody and I had low social skills. Like, that, not a good mix. That is not a good mix. No matter how much money you're bringing there, it's not a good mix, okay? If you don't know anyone who also has been to that club, or you're not going there with a bunch of people, and you don't have that much, like, you don't have that much social skills, right? That's gonna end terribly for you. You're gonna have a bad night, and you're never gonna want to go outside ever again. Like, don't do that. What I do suggest is that if you're taking classes, great way. If you want to join a book club, again, a great way. Online, it's kind of like a substitute for being there in person. Not the greatest thing to live off of. You can't just live your life off online friends, okay? Like, that's not the same thing as having them with you in person and hanging out with them. That's not the same thing. Unfortunately, a lot of people have to do that right now because of coronavirus 2020. And some people who actually have friends abroad and they can't actually afford to see them all the time. So that kind of stuff, I mean, it might suck for a lot of people, especially people in long-distance relationships. I know a few people who were in them, but again, if you're not actually planning on living together at one point, then it's kind of like a waste of time. Do you know what I mean? Like, it actually does get illegal at one point if one of them is planning on doing that with you and the other person has no intention of doing so whatsoever. You're screwing people over that way. Just because you met them online doesn't mean they're not a person that knows other people and whatever, right? Like, don't ever dismiss that. It's very important to maintain your relationships. How to build social skills: if you don't personally know anybody and you're afraid that people are going to judge you, that people are not going to like you, most likely they won't, because you have so little social skills, and at that age, you're like, what the fuck were you doing? Were you a drug addict or something? Like, what were you doing for the past how many years? Like, what? Right, I say go outside and talk to your neighbors. Just drop by. Even if it's lame to, like, make those, like, greeting cards, right? Just... just make a bunch of greeting cards or purchase a bunch of greeting cards, send them through your neighbor's mail slots and be like, hello, I'm your neighbor at this, I'll be home, I'd like to introduce myself. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself to me, but if you'd like, drop me a note, or you can contact me via Facebook, blah 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 blah. You can do that to your neighbors. It's great for that, honestly. Like, I did that to all the people that I personally made sure that I sent all the greeting cards to the people that I was supposed to. You think it's not important? It is, okay? Your doctors, your business people, the people that your old bosses, people that used to work for, all that kind of stuff. Just send a Christmas card once in a while, just to let them know, hey, I remember, thanks for doing that. I mean, you think it doesn't make a difference, but people remember that kind of stuff, and you're actually supposed to do that. I'm sorry, like, you're supposed to be sending your doctors Christmas cards every year. I don't know why they don't. Like, that probably, like, makes them a little angry. But... ah! Oops. I accidentally kicked my computer. So, don't forget. It stresses me out talking about this kind of stuff because I feel like your parents should have taught you this already. I only know this because the foster family I was living with was also like that. And I didn't need a gentle reminder, even though people kept on mentioning it to me. I'm like, can you stop? They were never the type to, like, cheat people out on their gifts and the cards. Like, that's just kind of the standards that they were going by. But, that's what that is, honestly. And if anybody approaches you in a neighborhood, even if you have a bad feeling about that person or you don't really trust that person, and they're like, hey, you wanna come hang out with us, you wanna go for coffee with us, you wanna, like, oh, we're gonna go play with something, like play in the playground or something like that, like, just take them up on their offer. They're offering this to you because they want to get to know you too, and if you don't like it, they're not gonna force you to hang out with them because they're doing that on their personal time. Not on, like, they're not being forced to do it. Like, they see you around, they see that you don't really know anyone in the community, they want to try to get introduced to new people, and who knows, maybe somebody that they know really likes you, and you might even end up finding a partner that way. A lot of people do. So, don't be so dismissive, okay? Don't do that. Even if whatever that person is, even if there's, like, red flags everywhere saying, this is a bad person to trust and this person might screw you over, you don't know anyone, okay? You're not in a position where you can say, I'm just gonna, like, wait until the great person comes along into my life. You actually don't know anybody there. You don't have any friends. You don't know anybody, whatever. You need to be able to put yourself out there and introduce yourself and get to know people that way and find out how you can prevent that person or find a deal or, like, get along with somebody so that they don't do that kind of stuff to you. Right? That's called social skills. Okay? You need to be able to do that. Those are things that you're gonna have to learn. I mean, people already learn that kind of stuff when they go to school. For whatever reason, I guess a lot of kids don't actually, like, be active and stuff. Like, even if you don't want to, just say yes to going and hanging out with people for social reasons. Like, oh, we're going to a bar later, you want to come? Even if you don't drink, you can get a virgin margarita or something. You can get appetizers there. You're with a group of people, so it doesn't really matter. So you're like, oh, hey, so you want to, like, you want to hang out with us? Like, you want to, like, we're all going to a club later, you want to come along? Or, like, oh, we're going to go for lunch today, you want to come with us to this lunch spot? And then you'd be like, oh, okay, sure, why not? Okay. I think that was trying to call me out. Okay, the reason why this might come off a little sarcastic, that wasn't what that is, but the thing is, like, if I see somebody who has no social skills and they're actually in, like, they're in a position where it requires them to have a certain amount of social skills or be able to supplement that, I actually ask, or like I go along with what they're going along with, because I don't want them to feel uncomfortable and feel insecure about themselves, because it's gonna affect how they're behaving. So that's what I do. I'm like, I just go like, yeah, no, like, I definitely, like, yeah, I'm like that too sometimes, and like, yeah, I don't have a lot of friends either. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, you know what, it's hard for me to, like, introduce myself, and not a lot of people approach me, so I had to, like, go out with people who were willing to approach me. I thought they were Chinese. I was like, sorry, I was talking shit to them all the time because they were like, they weren't doing something right. Yeah, I was right the first time, wasn't I? Yep. They're Japanese immigrants to Korea. Things didn't work out for them for one specific reason: patriarchy. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that kind of stuff is like. The only thing that I actually like recognized was that like they wouldn't stop feeding me Japanese food. But it wasn't like it's convenience store food. There's a restaurant here in the city in Toronto that has, it's really fancy and it's really like, oh, it looks like a lounge or like a cocktail bar. And they do have nice drinks and stuff like that there, but like the menu is like for kids. Yeah, the menu is like all convenience store food. Like if you go to 7-Eleven in Japan, they're gonna serve that. Like you're gonna buy that there. Yeah, I can go to like a grocery store and pick that up and microwave it and like eat it myself. Like it's not really fancy food. It's not really high quality food, but like that's what they were serving. And I was the only person who was actually dressed for it. And I was like oh, is that why he was hitting on me? I'm like, I'm not gonna dress for that. Like, are you kidding me? They're like, yeah, I'm gonna eat some chicken katsu and curry and rice and drink some tea, and I'm gonna come in a Gucci suit and I'm gonna put my Louis bag right beside my side. I'm like, I'm not at a fucking host club, okay? Like, I'm not doing that shit. And they were actually, I don't know if they were trying to make fun of the people there. Apparently they said that the only reason people would even go there is if they did that, even though they always dress for that, but they're not actually dressing for the food. And I guess that's their way of saying it's not actually, it looks like it's for any tourist. It's not, you're not supposed to go there if you're a tourist, for locals. Well, I'm like, why are you guys doing that? But yeah. Don't flirt with the waitresses, please. It's not a good way to gain social skills, and no, you're not gonna get anywhere with them. Absolutely not. I mean, unless you're like being forced to. That's the thing. Like, that's kind of why it's kind of a dangerous job when you're working as a waitress. You get a lot of weirdo clients, and people who like to drink kind of do that kind of stuff. So. This is my face. But please. If you want to gain your social skills, you want to put yourself out there, you want to know what it's like. Why is this not freaking downloading? Ugh. I gotta download again. Ugh. So if you want to increase your social skills, number one, take down all your barriers that you have on you. Okay, you want to put yourself out there, you want to get to know new people, you want to like meet different people, you want to know what it's like, especially if you're trying to start your own business. It's going to be integral to how you're going to run your business. Okay, your business is going to fail if you don't have these social skills, regardless of how many credentials you have and accreditations and all the certifications in the world won't matter if you don't have these social skills. Okay, you don't know how to get along with people even if you don't like them. I'm sorry, you can't run your business. You're gonna have so many customers, so many clients. You're gonna have to work for so many supervisors and the government workers and all that kind of stuff, even the police. You're gonna hate their guts, but you're gonna still have to work with them. That's just the way it is. If you don't want to do that and you're actively forcing them to either stop doing their business and they're not actually screwing people over or cheating people out or doing anything illegal that's affecting other people in the area negatively, if they're not doing any of that and you just don't like that person, so you want to kick them out of the area or something, you're gonna end up in prison. It's called a white-collar crime. Don't do that, please. Like, yeah, I know you don't like that guy. Yeah, I know no one really likes that guy. You know what? They have like one friend that they've been like mooching off socially for the past how many years. But you know what? You can't just deny that person as a customer client if they're a customer client. You're gonna lose so much money just from that one interaction, and you won't even be able to understand why. Because you don't have the social skills enough to comprehend that kind of stuff, right? A lot of people who don't have that, they end up hiring people to do that for them. Okay, but again, if you don't have the social skills, how do you know if that guy is not gonna try to like promote your competitors or like get other people involved and like try to underhandedly run your business and get you out of the picture so they can start taking over, right? Because you're in the Shark's Tank now, right? You're running with the big dogs, the big boys, and they have people who do that kind of stuff every single day, and like that's the only reason that they still hold a position, because of guys like that. And they'd rather work with somebody with more skills and a lot more ability to get along with others than some idiot who just wants to do their things their way all the fucking time. It's annoying. So that's what that is. If you don't want to do those things, then I'm sorry, you're gonna have to be able to put up with things, like, whatever. But, yeah, great way to build social skills. Join a club. Not a gang, okay? You guys are... That's actually... People think gangs are stupid and for very poor people with no social skills. It's for very advanced, socially very adept people, okay? That's why they're saying don't join gangs, because you guys are gonna screw you over. They're gonna screw you out of everything you got. They're gonna use you as an excuse to do whatever they want and like make it look like something that's not. Like, that's why they're like, please don't join gangs. Okay? They know what they're doing. They know why they're doing it. And most of the time they know it's not okay, but they'll do it to you because they don't like you. Okay? And they're not gonna... You actually make one mistake and they're gonna hate you forever. That's what it's like to be in a gang. Gang shit. You fuck up, you are dead to me. Okay? You are no longer somebody I consider worth my time. Don't ever speak to me again. And you think they're joking about that because maybe you have family or relatives or friends or something like that. They say that kind of stuff all the time. You dismiss it. If you dismiss it with those guys, your life is over. Say goodbye to your apartment, your house. The neighbor's gonna hate you. They're gonna start finding things about you, finding things out about you that you didn't even know about, that you forgot about years ago. Okay? I mean, it's kind of like that with everyone, right? But specifically with gangs, they're gonna kick you out and leave you out in the dry, in the dirt, to die. Why? Because you did some stupid shit and they didn't like you for it, or you fucked up and they don't forgive you. Forgiveness is for drug addicts, okay? If they say they forgive you and they didn't actually forgive you, you should be very, very scared. Very scared. What else? Yeah, that's it. So, hey, you wanna put yourself out there, you wanna meet new people, or do all that kind of stuff, you should be doing that. Find a way to get that done. No one's gonna really baby you the entire time, and, I mean, apart from gang members where you will literally die and get killed in the middle of the night, and they won't even file anybody, they can't find evidence for it, they don't know what went wrong, and people are just going to list it as a natural cause of death because they already found out you have health problems, or you had health problems and starting up again, and I'm like, why is my health problem, I thought I got rid of that years ago, why is it still popping up? Gang, shata, I don't know what they do really, I'm not part of a gang. But they're everywhere. Please avoid those guys. They're not actually gonna come up to you and introduce themselves to you. Oh, never ever. Will you never expect that? You won't even know that they're gang members. You guys that you meet at CD clubs, they're actually neighbors. I mean, CD clubs and CD bars, those are neighbors, people who live in the area. They're not actually gang members. They don't actually drink that much. People don't like it when you do things that affect them negatively, and it's not out of self-defense, and it's not for a good cause. Okay, so keep that in mind. Don't be selfish. Like, if you're intrinsically a selfish person and you have a hard time understanding why it's not okay to do things because you personally don't benefit from that, you're gonna have a lot of problems in your social life. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. You can trick yourself into thinking a different way. Like, if you want to learn how to be considerate towards other people, as in learn some manners, that's always possible. How would you go about learning manners? Okay, so, like, manners is like always making sure that you ask about the other person. Just keep that as a checklist in the back of your head. So be like, did I ask this person how they were doing today? Is this person eating the same amount I'm eating? Are they talking about things about themselves, or is this conversation about me or what I like? Right? Just, it's easy to keep in mind that way. So if you're having a conversation or if you're out with somebody and you're a selfish person, you're like, make sure you do something at the beginning just to show that I'm not selfish. Here, I bought you some, like, I was at the grocery store the other day, and I bought you an extra box of Oreos, because I was buying Oreos for myself. You want some? That kind of stuff. It's really easy. That stuff that you can do all the time, and people are, it's called having manners, right? People aren't gonna think that you're selfish or whatever, and then over time, when they start getting to know you and realize that you're kind of a selfish person, they'll play it off of you or play by you, and then kind of guide you, or like be able to respond in a way that they can avoid from you getting too selfish. So when they actually know you know, when they know what you're kind of like and how you're responding, that's when they can start doing that kind of stuff for you. But until then, you're gonna have to be very mindful, very well-mannered, and you're gonna have to do a lot of work. It might be tiring, you might not want to do it, you might not like it, but that's what that is. Please, for the love of God, don't jump into something like a Shark Tank and you know nobody in the area. Or no, you either know no one in the area, or you don't know what the area is like. Like, kind of like blah 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 blah. These are the people and the demographics and the businesses that are set up there. I kind of have an idea of what kind of people are gonna be here. That should be enough for me to be able to introduce myself. That, when you get to that point, then yeah, start going to clubs, start going to bars. You don't need always somebody with you. You can go by yourself. Yeah. That's... I can't believe I have to tell people this. You're not a baby anymore. I'm sorry. Stopped being a baby a while ago. If you really need some help, honestly, you should call your mom, call your dad, tell them that you want to start talking to your cousins or getting introduced to some people. Ask your family members. Okay, if they are from what I'm like my foster family, not good people to go to. But if you're literally blood relatives with somebody and you want to start getting to know some people in the area or something, just ask your cousin, ask your sister, your brother, and be like, hey, like, I kind of want to get out there. You should be able to ask them, they'll start introducing you to people. That's a great way to meet new people. If, I don't know, I wouldn't personally do anything. Like, if I didn't know anyone, I would go off of that. Like, people that I was introduced when I was a kid. Like, you know that guy you have on Facebook, but, like, you guys met in elementary and you haven't talked to in ages? Like, you can hit him up or hit her up and be like, hey, I kind of want to, you know, come out for coffee with me, or, like, I want to see what you've been doing, what you're up to, or something like that. And most likely, if they're not too busy and they don't have their own friends, like, or, not that they don't have their own friends, that's what you would be thinking. If they're not too busy, or, if they have enough time to meet a friend or something, then they'll be like, sure, why not? If you already fucked up with them, then don't even bother. Please don't, it's harassment. Yeah, that's called harassment. You made a mistake, you screwed up, you fucked up, you're gonna harass somebody, they're gonna call the police on you. Or get other people they know involved to tell you, please stop bothering this person. And that sting of rejection is gonna hit you pretty deep. Otherwise, if that person somehow happens to be in a gang, I'm sorry, you're gonna lose your life. You're gonna get fired from your job. Some people act like gangs when they're scared of gangs. I see that all the time. They think that somebody's a gang member when they're not, and they make that mistake of trying to retaliate even though nobody has done anything to them. That's called a mental illness. Okay, don't do that. Don't do gang shit if you're not a gang member. Or if you haven't been around enough gang members. I'm sorry, that means you live in a bad area. If it's rampant with criminal activity, you don't know to the extent what kind of crimes are being committed. The little things that get reported to the police, that's a byproduct. Okay, that's the leftovers of the criminal activity. You actually don't know what it is that they're doing there. And if you see that the people involved are actually insane or mentally unstable, that means that they're not gang members and they're not criminals. Okay, they don't know what they're doing. They're gonna get sent to prison. That's the byproduct of criminal activity. Why is it important for you to know this? Because people are people and they want to like you. Okay, everyone in the entire world, they haven't met you yet, they want to like you. Including psychopaths, sociopaths, mentally ill people, they want to like you. They want to meet people and they want to meet people that they like. That's what, even if you're incredibly selfish, you want to meet people that you like. You don't want to sit around with people you hate. Nobody wants to do that. So they want to go around talking to people that they like and they want to be friends with people. Everyone's like that, okay? So just keep that in mind. It should lessen your shyness or insecurity. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Even if people don't respond favorably or they don't really like what you're doing, at the end of the day, they'll respect you for the fact that you put yourself out there and you're introducing yourself to the community and you're letting people know that I'm looking for new friends and I'm looking for new people to hang out with because I don't really know anyone in the area. If you lived there for 10 years and you never left your room, people are going to start wondering about you. So there'll be a group of people who are very glad that you're starting to do that. There'll be another group of people who thought that you were some fucked up criminal and were watching weird porn and like doing drugs all day. So they're going to probably make a lot of assumptions about you. And there's going to be a group of people who are like, oh, I thought we, oh, okay. That would be that. But, yeah. Also, if you have problems with discrimination, racism, you're like misogynist, or you hate men, or like you had experience in the past that's clouding your judgment, or whatever, I'm not saying you're wrong about those things, and you should definitely learn from that. It's called meditation. But just keep in mind, the person that you're meeting you've never met before, that's a completely new person. That person isn't the same person from way back when. That's not the same person anymore. Okay? That person is a new person, you don't know them. Okay, just keep that in mind. That should be enough for you to be like, okay, I know that this is a new person. So, it's easy for me to like, learn how to get along with people. Because I don't know this person. If I get to know this person, maybe I'll like them. Who knows? Maybe you like them immediately. Some people are very likable. Some people are very unlikable. You'll meet those people too. So I don't know why it's so hard for people to be fucking people. Anyway, I've been smoking like a motherfucker, like a chimney. And I should probably stop at one point. I don't have enough food to eat. Don't blame me. It's a habit. I think, honestly. Also, please, don't take it upon yourself, if you're the type of person who only has 5 friends, to jump in the Shark Tank and get everyone introduced to each other. You're gonna make a mistake, trust me. I'm talking to people who know everyone in the area, or who have... Look, you know you're safe to do that if you can go along with a completely new person, and that person is giving off so many red flags, and you still come out of it, and that person hasn't stolen anything from you the entire time. If that's what happened, and you're allowed to do that, and you can't do that without having constant negative backlash, right? That means you have enough social skills to go out and meet new people. Okay, you don't have to wait or improve any other skills. It's enough for you to go out there, introduce yourself, and be like, hey, it's me. Yeah. Why the hell not? No one can stop you from any other kind of stuff. This video was so long. But yeah, make sure this is something that you're gonna have to continually maintain in America. I don't know about in Korea. In Korea, I think it's normal for people to drop by here and there. In America, you're gonna have to let them know. Not a warning, just be like, hey, so I'm gonna drop by to see you this weekend. I went to I don't know, I went to like a wine tour with my boyfriend last weekend, so I bought you some stuff. And we can hang out and have brunch or something. And they'll text you that or like message you or something, and then you can go there and be like, oh hey, but that's American. Don't do that if you're not American. Like if you're in Korea, people like show up at your door and know that you're home and be like, hey, you wanna hang out? Or you wanna go to a friend's house? Okay, let's go. It's really Korean. Oh, also keep in mind people have cultural differences. Not everyone was born in that country. So again, new person, new thing, you can learn new thingies that way. It'll be great! How to avoid common pitfalls and mistakes people make? Selfish stuff. Be considerate. That stuff is called having manners. Maybe you can Google it and brush up on some manner skills. Just go there with the intention of, I really like everyone here. Like, that's the idea. I like everyone, and I want to meet new people, and I want to make friends. Okay? Like, that's what I want. I want new friends, and just to be clear on that, I want to make new friends. And that will be enough for people to respond to you in a very nice way, even if they don't like you, because they know you're not trying to hurt anyone. You're just there to make new friends and meet new social contacts, and hopefully like you can like provide some benefit. Don't go outside if you don't have enough money to feed yourself or you don't have nothing to give. You know, you're gonna show up there, expect everyone to pay for you, and then still want to be your friend. That's a mistake. It's called being inconsiderate. Okay, don't be inconsiderate.